The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Y'all ready for this?
Booyah! We are back. It is 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, May 22nd. That means it's time for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV Corp.com. My name is Bill Miller, co-host along with
Jeff Belknap.
And we have a full show for you today. And as you can see, we have in-studio guests. And we're going to just get right into it. And this is our hockey segment. And we are going on the junior level. So adjacent to me is Gabe Gauthier, who's head coach of the Las Vegas Storm and also director of coaches for the new Vegas Junior Golden Knights. And with
Look out.
Yeah, because we're going to get more into that because till they came in, I had no idea that the Vegas the Golden Knights had already set up a junior program. Yeah. And on the end, last but not least, Zach McClanahan, who is a 16-year-old, I think? 17, who has recently played with the Vegas Storm under-16 AAA team. And more on him because he is headed for a very exclusive camp coming up. Zach McClanahan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Gabe Gauthier, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yep.
And, and we've had a chance to kind of chat a bit before, once you got here.
Mm-hmm.
And we were surprised by a few things. But since, Gabe, you're the elder statesman of the group, and then we'll get to the young man here at the end.
Yes.
And so, Gabe, you're the head coach of the Las Vegas Storm. And that's one of the local club teams here in town. And you are also director now of coaches for the Vegas Junior Golden Knights. Mm-hmm. So things are really ramping up as far as Golden Knight hockey is concerned.
Just in hockey general, it's ramping up, and the Junior Knights kind of was a little bit of the icing on the cake of how the development has progressed here in the last 3 years. And I was telling Jeff before that I'm entering my fourth season here in Las Vegas, and when I got here, there was 2 travel teams. Last year, we finished the year with 11 travel teams.
Wow.
And a junior team.
Nice.
Now we're going with the Junior Golden Knights. We're now up to 13 travel teams, and then the Las Vegas Storm Western States team. So hockey's definitely, it's growing. It's becoming more of a niche for the Las Vegans.
Yeah.
It's also being widely attracted by new and upcoming sports fans that are now becoming hockey fans.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That is excellent. So first of all, give us a bit of background about you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not originally from Las Vegas?
No.
Okay.
No.
So where are you
When you hear them say "a," then you already know that they're not from there.
See, that's funny. I'm originally from Southern California.
Okay.
I was born in Torrance, grew up in Buena Park.
know exactly where.
And
okay.
so I played all my minor hockey up until I was about 14 years old.
Right.
And as you know, hockey in Southern California really wasn't up to par for young hockey players.
No.
So I had to move to Canada.
Right.
Hey.
So I moved to British Columbia when I was.
Where about? No, I'm just kidding.
So the about location was in Chilliwack, British Columbia.
Chilliwack. So you stayed west.
Okay.
Stayed west.
Stayed west, okay.
Stayed in British Columbia, and played my junior A hockey up there in the BCHL.
Wow.
My dad's originally from St. Boniface, Manitoba.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
I had the Canadian blood in me.
Absolutely.
He didn't play hockey. He played football. So I got that random Gauthier gene to play ice hockey.
Huh?
But had a great experience there. And from there, I received a full scholarship to go play at the University of Denver.
Nice.
So I played 4 years
A
there.
good school, Denver.
Exactly.
It was a good school, and it was also a small school. A lot of people really didn't credit it for hockey. And, we came in and said we're a hockey school, and ended up winning 2 national championships.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's
Back
now
to back,
synonymous with the
Yep.
Frozen Four. So
Frozen Four. They just won again this year to make it number 8 for
it's
the
amazing
university.
program.
Yeah.
Absolutely
great.
amazing
Yeah.
program.
And played 7 years professional hockey. Had a cup of tea up with a
Cup of coffee. Yeah.
cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever you want to call it. But had it there with the Kings, so it was definitely a dream come true that
Wow.
to wear a Kings jersey and
Absolutely.
be part of the organization that I grew up watching.
Well,
That's great.
you there's just a handful of people that can honestly say that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's
Which is not us,
done.
me and you.
And by the way, neither one of us. Okay. So, but
Even though I can skate, I can still
congratulations.
skate, but
Yeah.
I don't know about shooting and skating and puck handling stuff. But,
Yeah. It's complicated. So
Yeah.
If you want, we do have an adult clinic on Monday nights that you can come out to.
oh, I mean, I already brought it up to Arturo last week. We talked about the media. We're gonna have a media day
You should.
where the media guys are gonna go out there and play. And,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get Bill out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you down or no?
Yeah, as soon as I can find a pair of 14 skates, I'll be happy to.
No, it's a little bit more challenging, but
Yeah.
I'll definitely still get out there. My kids like getting on the ice. I still take them over there to the ice center.
Yeah.
So
Or even Sunday. You can play Sunday with it's a beginner league. Just started up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sunday beginner league.
is it over a 50 league by
I
chance?
think
or-
there's some teams that are over 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not over 50, but that's who I want to play with. I'm going to change my birth certificate,
I'll give you up. I'll say there's no way. You need to check this guy's ID.
because I'll be skating around those
That's it.
50-year-olds.
Yeah, that's what I
right.
thought.
That's what I'm going to do.
I know. So-
Well, Gabe, I mean, that's, by the way, congratulations on getting that opportunity.
Oh,
you.
absolutely.
And
That's great.
That's you've had obviously a varied background, and now how did you get involved in the coaching?
Throughout my life, I've always had that passion to be involved in hockey. I vowed to myself when I was up in Chilliwack, I wouldn't have a desk job.
Yeah.
So even though I sit at a desk at the rink, I'm more involved on the ice, off the ice, making phone calls, visiting players, going on scouting trips. I'm very interactive with what I do as director of coaches and coach. And so as soon as I was done playing 5 years ago, in Denver with the Cutthroats, it was in the Central League. And,
Which I love the name of that team, by the
the
way.
Denver Cutthroats.
The Cutthroats.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great.
I decided to call it quits and get into coaching. So I coached a year of ACHA college hockey, so club hockey in Denver.
Right.
And then got a random phone call from the guy that got me up to Chilliwack. He goes, "What'd you move to Vegas?" I go, "What for?" He goes, "For hockey," right?
He's like, yeah, right.
For hockey, and I had the same thing everyone said. There's hockey in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
It's what everyone thought about California at the time.
Yeah.
They just didn't believe it. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot. What does it entail?" And he goes, "Well, they're looking for a new hockey director, and they're looking for a junior coach. They've had the franchise for 6 years, but never activated it because they didn't have anyone to put in place." So I said, all right, talked to my wife, and it was a no-brainer decision for us to come out here to basically have a blank slate. Right?
Yeah,
It was a
that's
blank
good.
slate of developing hockey and put it on a model that makes sense.
Right.
And the biggest thing is educating the families, right? The on-ice work, that's the easy part. It's the education of understanding this is an expensive sport. But it's also a great sport. It's the greatest sport. I'm biased, but I agree. It's
Exciting-wise, I mean, there's no doubt.
exciting-wise, community-wise, friendship-wise, even the players become gentlemen, right? We teach all our players to become gentlemen of the game, respect the game, and be humble for the experience that you do receive, right? Some kids will get to the highest level of the National Hockey League. Others may just look at juniors and that's it. But whatever you do, you stay humble with it, and you always give back. So I have all my players, help out with the younger kids and build that community, because that's how you're going to build more hockey players. When they see kids on the ice and they're playing junior hockey, I go, you guys are gods to them. They look up to you. They want to be in your spot one day. So treat them just the way that you were treated when you were playing hockey and someone else came and helped you out. And that's how we continue to build the game.
Oh, that's great. So you play at the Las Vegas Ice Center.
Yes.
Owned by Kurt
Kirk Brooks,
who also owns a team in Kearney, Nebraska.
Yes.
Which is great because he's got his own little different family and everything going on there.
Yeah.
As far as business-wise, I mean, great arena. And then out here, he's got a little bit smaller arena.
Right.
But still doing the same type of business. I mean, what's that like? I mean, Kurt's a good guy. I mean, obviously pouring into a lot of people. Just tell us a little about Brooksies and the Ice Center and what Kurt's got going on.
So he's done an amazing job with this transition of, producing hockey in Las Vegas. And I think it was about 7 years ago that building was going to be sold off or going to go under.
Yeah.
And him and his brother came along and said, no, let's keep it afloat. His son was playing, who's now playing professional. Now Kenny was at Penn State. But he came in and took over and said, hey, we got to get this up and running for youth hockey. So he actually put dressing rooms in the building. There weren't dressing rooms there before.
That could be interesting.
Fixed the roof.
That's like us when we had our team. Guys dressing on the sidelines,
parking lot. And,
So before they were getting dressed in like trailers. Just little trailers they pulled up to the arena, and that was the dressing room. But he's done a lot. He's done a lot for the game of hockey for Vegas. He's done a lot for the community. And then he's also built a championship team in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they won the Clark Cup 2 years ago. But it's amazing the passion, right? And that's what comes out is his passion for the game of hockey and for having kids given that opportunity.
Well, I think to have that kind of success, there has to be a passion there. And so, Zach, before we go into a lot of details about the program, especially the Golden Knights, Zach, so tell us a bit about yourself. You're actually local, right?
Yeah, born and raised in Las Vegas.
You're at that age where you hear this a lot more now than you
about how good your hair is.
And so you're 17. So how did you get into hockey?
My dad grew up in Philadelphia, and he always just loved watching hockey when he was a younger kid, and he just kind of got me in the game when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
Nice. At 8 years old. See, I still have a shot with Keon.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a young one that's 9, so I'm trying to.
Was he a Flyer fan or is
huge
a Flyer
fan?
Yeah.
I'm also a huge Flyer fan.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, I even though I was a Kings fan, I was really a Philadelphia Flyer fan. But going back to the old Broad Street.
Broad Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so 8 years old. That's when you did you get started playing with the Storm at that time?
Yeah, I started playing for the Storm. I was a goalie, and I switched over to forward.
Okay, and you went from goalie to forward. Wow.
Couldn't skate very well.
Wow.
Still can't.
You can skate forward very well, right? But you can't skate.
He can't go side to side. He can't go side to side or backwards.
And you can't. These new guys that couldn't stop this way, they only stop to the left, couldn't stop to the right. Okay. So, but most recently you were with the under 16 AAA team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's not exactly for guys who can't skate.
Yeah, it was
Are you being a bit bashful here?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Well, we'll pull it out of you.
It was a fun season. I thought we proved a lot of the people wrong. From a team from Las Vegas, the first AAA program in probably the last, 5 years, 6 years?
Yep.
5 years. It was the first year AAA in 5 years, and we showed well. We had some good players.
So you really have just grown through the Storm program.
Mm.
Yeah, so you have you can kind of understand where Gabe's coming from. And were you his coach most recently?
No, I was coaching the juniors, but I was involved, so I'd come out and help them with practices.
Okay.
Give him little pointers. I actually gave him and a couple other 16 players opportunity to play some games with the junior team. So it was like a little call up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that happened last year, right?
Yeah.
I gave him that opportunity last year. He couldn't do it this year because he had an injury, I believe it was. Neck injury. But that's the thing. I gave a lot of these 16 kids, the ones that were at the top end of it,
right,
an opportunity to be called up to play on the junior team for a few games and give them a taste at that higher level. And he did well. He realized that it's a jump above because you're playing with 18, 19, 20 year olds.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah. And so the guys are bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah.
And it prepares them more. And you could see how his game has changed and the other kids' games have changed when they were exposed to that higher level.
It can bring out a little more in you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you can kind
Yeah.
of see, you know, what you're playing with, and
Right.
against where this is sort of a meshed scrimmage where, you know, guys are kind of playing on either side
Right.
with each. Yeah.
Yeah.
That opens up a lot more opportunities than just throwing them to the wolves.
Right.
Yeah. But so tell us a bit about, you've been actually invited to a very exclusive camp in June. Can tell us a bit about it.
It's the National Festival. It's the top players from your district, and I was selected from my district. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
But
no, that district is.
You're not. You don't look
just-
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very
you're-
excited.
Calm down. Calm down and tell. This is not just.
I'm just busting your chops.
This is not just a Clark County district.
Yeah.
Right.
How extensive is this district that you were chosen for?
It's out of Nevada, California, Oregon,
Washington and Alaska.
and Alaska.
Yeah,
That's
my
great.
goodness.
In Alaska, I mean, that's
Yeah.
a big. This is hockey in Alaska is like the big thing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's
Considering
absolutely
they
huge.
literally almost don't play football at all because of the season.
Or
There's
baseball.
Yeah.
Not, right, because the
nothing.
seasons are so short.
It's pretty much hockey.
That's great.
Yeah, and you're one of 6.
Hmm?
Yeah, so I mean that's a pretty exclusive you know, fraternity there.
Yeah, I'm very excited to just get the chance to represent Nevada and show that we're an actual program.
Yeah, and so what does this camp entail?
It's the top players from around the country, so I get to compare myself to some of the best kids in my age group.
Mm-hmm.
And the top 20 players get to play in the Ivan the Lincoln tournament in Europe this summer.
Wow,
Oh,
my
nice.
goodness.
So great.
Yeah, so there's some huge reward there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think being invited to the camp already puts you on the map. Well, I'm sure that you're going to represent Las Vegas,
I will
you know,
try.
and the Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and needless to say, congratulations, by the way,
Thank you.
on that. You know, so what plans do you have, going forward?
Right now, I'm just kind of training for Tri-City Camp, and I'm getting ready for National Camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I skate with Coach Gabe, and I'm just working out and trying to be the best I can be for when the time comes.
Yeah.
So Coach Gabe still gets out there and skates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just came from the rink,
Yeah,
right?
we just got here.
That's why I'm still sweaty because I'm out on the ice, right? We're out on the ice, and I run skills clinics and the battle drills, and just keeping the kids honest.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
In the summer, so we do it 3 to 4 times a week, 3:45 to 5 o'clock, and we get about 20 kids out there from the AAA level to the junior level, and like I said, it's basically status quo as a regular practice, right? Just keeping these kids honest, keeping them on the ice,
Get them ice time.
and competing,
Yeah.
right? Because that's the biggest thing. If you lose that compete level, right, then you're going to continue to not be ready for that next level. Because every year you have to advance, right? Even if you're playing at that same level, individually you have to advance.
Well, nothing ever stays the same. It either gets better or it gets worse.
Exactly.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I used to. I know the toughest thing with us was just getting ice time.
Right.
And is that still a problem here locally?
No.
Really?
Well,
No.
yes and no, right? When you get into the peak hours, so when our skate ends at 5 o'clock, the rink is completely booked. Both sheets are completely booked from 5 to about 11 o'clock at night,
Wow.
Monday through Friday. Then when you get in the weekends, it's a whole different ball of wax, because then you got tournaments that come in.
Yeah.
You know, we have other vendors that run tournaments, and but yeah,
Parties.
parties, you
Yeah.
know, birthday parties, public skate,
Yeah.
you know,
League.
adult league. It's nonstop. So 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday, jam packed. It's right now because kids are in school.
Yeah.
It's that 10 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock is when it's dead ice. But once the summer gets coming,
Yeah.
oh, then we're on
Back
the
to
ice.
it.
So
Back
there,
to it, yeah.
there aren't very many rinks in the rinks, and
There's two.
there's
There's
two. That's
two.
just Santa Fe and
Santa Fe and the Ice Center. So it's 3 sheets.
Bill. That's our next business
Yeah.
right there.
That's it.
No.
Yeah, Bill Ice.
Bill and they will
build
come
a
or no?
sportsplex.
Oh, okay.
No,
Build a
hey,
sportsplex.
believe me, I've been in conversations about that with
Yeah.
a lot of people, and that potentially
Yeah.
will happen.
Even if it has ice incorporated,
Yeah.
you still want to. I'm giving away secrets here. Is this national wide?
Don't
So,
give,
but
It's worldwide, actually.
But,
just so long as it's not the Glengarry leads.
but no, it's just
If you guys have an idea to do this, you have to come through us. But
email
yeah, we
Gabe
got
at Las Vegas Ice.
it. That's right.
No, but the other thing too is when you look at hockey players, when you look at athletes, right? And we're talking about athletes. Kids that make it to the highest level have always been the best athletes, whether you're playing
Right.
football, basketball, baseball, soccer, hockey, because you work on different coordinations. And I know there's a big debate that's been going on about specializing in your sport and all that, where you're not accustomed to playing other sports. I played other sports too. I played football, I played basketball, I did all those things. So you develop all that different coordination.
Right.
And if you had a sportsplex that was all built in,
Yeah.
right? You had an ice rink, you had indoor soccer, you had lacrosse. Lacrosse is another big thing that's coming up.
Believe
I love
me.
it. Absolutely
Certainly
love
is.
it.
Certainly.
Right.
Just so you know, Faith Lacrosse was
Yeah.
supposed to be tailing you guys today.
Okay.
They won the national championship. Congratulations to
Yeah.
Faith Lacrosse, by the
Good
way.
for
They'll
them.
they'll be on in a couple weeks.
Okay.
They're doing testing this week. That's the only reason they're not
Yeah.
on. But yes, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with a lot of different
Right.
sports.
Yeah.
Even rugby.
Rugby, yeah.
I mean, it's
It-
really getting big.
But that's where you see it, and you kind of, and when you give kids other options too, right? And if you're getting them solidified in one sport, then they're not exposed to other ones, right?
Right.
So if they're average in one sport, but they aren't exposed to another one, they really don't know if they can excel at that sport or not,
That's right.
right? But if you give him those options, who knows? If he goes and starts playing lacrosse, and he picks that up because he does have very good hands, right?
He can't skate.
He can't skate, but he has very good hands. So maybe lacrosse is the sport for you. But
Just a suggestion.
yeah, just keep that on the back burner, right? Keep
But
it
by
on
the way, are you going to high school now? Where do you go to high school?
Palo Verde.
Palo Verde. They have a
Okay.
good lacrosse team.
yeah,
Yeah, we actually lost to Faith Lutheran in the
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
I did see
goodness.
that
Yeah.
in local championship, and then they went up
Yeah.
and won.
Local, I mean, that's literally blocks from each other, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real local.
yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
So
Well,
But-
clearly you have a training regimen outside of hockey, right? Yeah, so you are taking that to heart, just in terms of working out, working different muscle groups. You have sort of like a fitness program that you follow.
I have a personal trainer at a PSI. I go
Okay,
there
yeah,
3
yeah.
times
Nice.
a week.
Wow,
And I
okay.
normally skate with Gabe on my off days.
that's great.
Excellent.
That's good stuff.
Now, Gabe,
Yeah.
one of the things that really, again, caught our eye was that you were a director of coaches for the Vegas Junior Golden Knights. So tell us about the Junior Golden Knight program, because obviously this is one that's brand new.
it's completely brand new. It's been about a month now since so it's very.
It is.
It's in the infancy stage, right?
Okay.
But it's going to happen really quick.
It's
Because
it's already progressed, and it's gotten to the point where we're kind of on a strict timeline to get
Yeah.
some stuff done.
Absolutely.
Um,
'Cause we're months away from literally having an NHL team in Vegas. So.
right, but we just completed our tryouts for the Junior Golden Knights,
Okay.
and so USA Hockey changed rules now, so we can't call teams Mite, Squirt, Pee Wee, Bantam, Midget anymore.
Oh, okay.
U8, U10, U12, U14, U16,
Like
U18.
football,
That's-
baseball, whatever.
Okay, so now we're going
All right.
along the lines. But anyway, so we had trials for U8 all the way up to U18/high school. So this year, we're going to have 13 travel teams. So 2 U8s, 3 U10s, 3 U12s, 2 U14s, and then a junior varsity and a varsity high school.
Oh,
team.
so great.
So
JV now they're in
in the Ducks, so they play. The high school team plays in the Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks High School League.
that's so great.
Last year they played in the D3 division. Now they're progressing, so they're going to have varsity that plays in the D2 division, and the JV team's going to play in the JV division. And
This is literally a game changer.
it's huge.
This is absolutely changing
So
the landscape.
and then the next step, it's getting crazy. So we had a board meeting. So let me backtrack. Sorry. So a month ago, the Storm and the Knights organization came together and said, "Look, for hockey in Vegas, because of what it's become, we can't have two fighting organizations. We just can't. It'll conflict."
Right.
Right. So the Knights came in and said, "How about we just take over? We still want you involved. Okay, so we keep all the same staff, right? We're not changing anything. We're not bringing in our coaches because we don't have coaches, but we keep our same staff. We keep Gabe involved with the,
Which you're happy about.
which I'm happy about. Right? Because I've established so many relationships.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
It
It takes a lot to build a team
It is.
in actually a segment of sport, basically.
but
Yeah.
dealing with almost 200 kids and then families, it's not an easy job, but
That's right.
it's very rewarding. Right?
Of course.
It's very rewarding to see like a player like Zach. Okay, and he's a perfect example of a kid that started from scratch and has worked his way up to now represent Nevada in a national camp for
That's
his
so great, man.
for his birth year.
Outstanding.
But that's the thing, it's taken a long time, right? He technically got a late start at 8, right?
Yeah.
Most of us, I started when I was 4. You see some kids starting when they're 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So 8 years old technically is considered a late start, but determination, persistence, hard work, that's what gets them to this level, right? And that's the education process.
And PSI.
Yeah, and PSI.
Give them a shout out.
Yeah, well, PSI. So, but those are the things that people aren't educated about that need to be educated, because everyone just looks at that high stage, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
I want
right.
to play NCAA. I want to play college hockey. I
They
want to
see
play
the end game.
NHL. It's a path, and I've told him it's a path. Now, my path is not going to be the same as his path.
Yep.
But whatever path you choose, make that your path and give 100% to that path. And that's where you're starting to see kids now become realistic, right? You make short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals.
Right.
And now the Knights are buying into that system.
Well, it's good that you're pouring that into them.
Right.
Because that's part of the process of being a mentor and being the elder in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. It's like, hey, chances are it might not work out.
Yeah.
So this is plan B in a sense.
Right. So now we have the Junior Golden Knights. Like I said, it's in that infant stage. So a website's being developed right now. We're hoping for a June 1 launch. We have all the social media. That's all being developed.
Facebook's already up. I saw
Facebook
the-
is up. Twitter, Instagram. That's all being developed by their media relations. And so the actual Knights are taking over for that part.
Nice.
We have
Makes it easier for you.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. So having the Junior Golden Knights, we now have a bigger organization, right? So now it's compiled of a 7-person board. So 4 seats are Knights staff. 2 of the seats are John Brooks and Scott Algrini, who represent the Las Vegas Ice Center, and then the 7th seat is Wally Lacroix, who manages the Sobe Ice Arena.
Right.
So
nice.
everyone on the board is hockey minded, right?
Yes.
And we're here for the common goal. The common goal is get more kids playing, develop them, and then move them on to that next level.
That's fantastic.
And then so as you go underneath, you have me as the director of coaches, which is like coach in chief. And so I assembled all our coaching staff for the U8 all the way up to high school. Had our coaches meeting, 2 weeks before tryouts, and we had the tryouts. We had 180 kids come out to try
I
out.
was going to ask you, what was the turnout like?
So 180 kids,
Yeah.
right? And when we say, people are like, oh, I got cut. We didn't cut anybody. We found them a place, right? So every player has found a place. Now, going back to the education, sometimes it's not travel. Sometimes your place is house league,
Right.
right? And so that's the education process. You didn't get cut from the team. You're
being developed.
being
basically.
developed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if I told your son, hey, you're not going to be on this Squirt B team, but we want you to play.
Jason's not going on the Squirt B team. Just so
we,
you know.
we want you to play in the house league,
Appreciate that.
but we also want you to be a practice player,
Right.
right? So you can practice with that team, start getting in the motion and being at that level.
That is outstanding because, I mentioned to you before that I played. I mean, and I'm 60. There was no such thing. If
No.
you didn't make the A team, you
Yeah.
played blues.
You were playing
If
basketball.
They had enough, and you certainly never practiced with the A
No.
team. No, you with the blue team,
Right.
and so I think that's outstanding because I think that if to really get kids to kind of lose faith and lose hope in what they're doing, like right off the bat,
Right.
I think that this is an excellent way, and
Absolutely.
and I think that 5 years from now is when you're really going to start to see those kids begin to develop.
Yep.
and have been through this program, this constant program.
Yes.
This is outstanding. This is outstanding opportunity.
And then another little development model that we've implemented too is at the end of the getting towards the end of the season. So for most teams, end of the season's right around President's Weekend, February 19th, right around there. But soon as MLK tournament is done, what we do is we make a complete transition. So now if you're playing U10, right, U10A, you now have an opportunity to go practice with the U12A team.
Oh,
Now you're
okay.
jumping up because now those kids the following year are going to be at the U12 level,
Right.
right? So a kid that's in a birth year that, for example, this year 06s, 06 birth years are now moving up to the U12. So those 06s were now given an opportunity to practice with the U12s
Right.
towards the end of the season
Right.
to see what it's going to be like next season. And it's just, it goes all the way up the ladder.
That is outstanding.
That's so great.
Goes all the way up the
really
ladder.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness.
So Zach, you want to do some shout outs before we go?
Your girlfriend?
Somebody, I mean, you gotta do some shout outs. I saw some prom pictures. I was on your Instagram. I'm gonna start
Yes!
stalking you.
That's it.
I'm gonna start stalking
What's
you.
her name?
Emma.
Emma.
So,
I'm on.
hi,
Hey,
Emma.
Yeah, go.
Oh.
Say hi.
Hey, Emma.
There you go. Yeah.
That's it?
Hi, Emma.
Wow.
From Zach.
um,
And how about your trainer?
What, your coaches, other
personal
players,
trainer.
anybody?
PSI, my personal trainer Mark, he's always helped me out, gets me stronger off the ice.
There you go.
Gotta give a shout out to Coach Gabe.
All right.
He always helps me on the ice. He's helped me become a better player and a better person off the ice too.
All right, thank
That's
you.
great.
Well done.
great.
Well done. And for your folks.
I'll just say just thanks to my family. They've always helped me through this progression, and it's very expensive.
I mean, to spend 700 on skates,
Yeah.
I mean, that's you
it's
gotta
very
live on it.
expensive, so I'm happy they helped me through this journey.
That's great. That's awesome. So, are you going to be able to play soon? I mean, can we come watch you play? I mean, when's the next time you do play?
So the next time he'll be out that you guys can watch is the Tri-City Storm main camp.
Okay.
So that is June 11th to 17th
Okay.
at the Ice Center. So the first 3 days of the camp is there's going to be about 130 kids, and then they narrow it down to, so you go 8 teams. So there's 8 teams. Then on Wednesday it gets narrowed down to 4 teams, and then on Friday it gets narrowed down to 2 teams. And then from there they select their 26, 27 kids to go to the actual main camp in August in Kearney, Nebraska to
Oh, that's awesome.
make the team.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
And
You know
that
what?
starts on the
And
11th.
I said Kearney,
yeah,
and I remember now that a lady corrected me when I called her. She said it's Kearney.
Kearney, yeah.
It's not Kearney. It's
Yeah,
Kearney.
Kearney,
So
yeah.
yeah, Kearney.
Pronounced Carney.
But yeah,
But
June,
even though it says
June,
Kearney.
June
Yeah.
11 to 17th is a Tri-City Storm camp that he'll be skating in, and a lot of our locals will be in
And
that
will
as
that
well.
be at
At the Ice Center.
Ice Center?
Yes.
Is that open? And it's open to the
It's
public
open to
as
the
well?
general public, yes.
All right.
Yep.
Outstanding.
And from what I understand, Brooksie's is advertising the best pizza in town.
Do you know what? I actually had lunch there today, and it is. Right?
It really is
It-
because I've had it before,
Uh-huh.
but they just started this Instagram thing where you like advertising this,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? It really is a good
It's,
pizza.
it's a
So it's a good pie?
it's a great
Oh,
pie.
yeah.
Like today, I had the great white with some
Uh-oh.
sausage on it.
Oh, all right.
So it's a white pizza with
Yeah.
with sausage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that.
It's good
next time I'm
stuff.
over
Well, I'm a sucker for good pizza.
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
especially.
Bill is. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. so
And
I'll go
and you can
anywhere
watch
for
all the hockey.
Yeah, you can watch it right through the
because you're
glass.
sitting right
That's
there
great.
watching
Yeah.
through the bar.
it. That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, I thank you guys both for coming
No,
on.
thank you.
Thank you.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Gabe, any
Yep.
shout outs?
To your wife and daughter.
To my wife and my daughter, Tammy and Brooke. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Parents, obviously. Everyone's
Yes.
got to thank their parents.
Oh, yeah.
Even when you're out of the game, it's for driving them to the rink.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
right.
6 a.m., 5 a.m. Coaches, former coaches. I had some great coaches. That's the thing, right? You know, everyone's like, "Oh, you were such a great hockey player." No, I had great coaching. You know, and they kept me in line, right? It wasn't so much
For
that
you to get
That's
to
what
where you
coaches
got.
are for.
Yeah,
It-
absolutely.
and that's the thing. They
Absolutely.
kept me in line and then made you prepare for each level, and that's the thing.
All right.
So, but yeah, I had some great coaches, and you know, just trying to be. I kind of mix around, right? I model myself after every coach I've had and take a little bit a piece of what they gave to me.
I think by now it would be very difficult for you to have your own exclusive 100% Gabe coaching system
No.
that involves no one else's system whatsoever.
No, you wouldn't make it.
Exactly.
You wouldn't make it.
I think that we should all be humbled by people in our past
Yes.
as to where we are.
Right. It's
Absolutely.
Unless, of course, you're a serial killer.
well, it's just like being a father, right?
I think they do
And
that too.
my dad told me this when I had my daughter. So my daughter's 7 years old, but he goes, whether you have a boy or a girl, that child is going to be a better parent than you, or else you weren't a good parent.
Exactly.
He goes, I expect you to be a better father than I was to you guys. He goes, it's not saying I'm a bad father. It's just you're going to be a better because you're going to learn from all the mistakes that I made.
Yeah.
And then your daughter's going to learn from your mistakes. And it's the same thing in coaching.
Here.
You know?
Absolutely.
Same thing in coaching.
What the-
And that's where a lot of people kind of miss the idea of what it takes to be a coach, right? And you see it in sports so much that
the screamers,
the yellers,
Cussers.
the hustlers, or just the ones that play to win, play to develop,
That's right.
play to develop, and enjoy the game.
All right, so Zach, I'm going to come check you out.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get the schedule. I'm going to make sure I'm out there. I'm a pitcher taker, so I'm going to come out there and take some shots of you.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Make sure you sign a release first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabe, thank you. No, I'm gonna have you autograph every one of them. So
Yeah.
when
No,
you
thank
make
you
the
guys.
NHL, and we really appreciate you guys coming on. We
Absolutely.
appreciate what you guys are doing. I
Yep.
mean, it's great for the city of Las Vegas,
Yeah.
and it's just you guys are in the basis, the foundation, the building blocks, which is great.
Right.
And these are exciting times for hockey in
Absolutely.
Las Vegas.
Yes, it is.
Who would have thought we'd be saying that 2 years ago?
It's nuts. Isn't that great?
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
I know.
It's absolutely crazy. Well, thank you guys both
Yeah,
for
thank
coming in. We really appreciate it. Also, hope that you continue to be friends of the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
And if you guys want me back and bring another kid, and then I'll.
Oh no, I'm good with that.
So
Absolutely.
I'd love to
Good
come
with that.
back. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, then that's even better. Yeah, we want people
Bring your
to want
Kings
to come
jersey
back.
next time.
Yeah. No,
Alrighty.
I
You know I'm
I
a
love
Red
it.
Wings fan.
So
Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much. Gabe Gauthier and Zach McClanahan, thank you both for joining us.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to switch gears, and hopefully we're going to be joined by the athletic director at College of Southern Nevada, Dexter Irvin. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV Corp.com. We'll be right back. All right, well, we're going to go ahead on. Listen, thank you very much, man, for taking the time to come on to the show. I remember that Jeff and I actually had the pleasure of meeting you. It was about, I think, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, and at the time, College of Southern Nevada was possibly considering some construction plans that you folks had for out there. And you've been now the athletic director with them since, is it 2012?
Well, let's see. No, what year is this? Yeah,
I know the feeling.
it all runs together. So, this is my fourth baseball season. So we're in 17. So it was the January of 13.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And before that, you were at Hawaii Hilo.
Correct. I was at the University of Hawaii at Hilo, and was at Dixie
Dixie State.
up in St. George for 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I can see why you measure things in terms of baseball seasons.
You do it by the seasons when you're an AD. I think, at least I do.
Absolutely. So listen, and again, I know that when we sat down with you, you were discussing, some possible construction plans because you had a chunk of land out there, and and has that moved forward? I mean, are there any plans on the horizon?
Well, we were able to go and put our master plan together and get with our administration and put some things together. We just completed a softball field adjacent to our great baseball stadium out there, Tamora Stadium, and it's a beautiful facility. It's all artificial turf. We actually played our first softball season on it this year with our gals.
That's great.
They did a wonderful job, and it's a beautiful, beautiful facility. So that was completed. We got that done, and then now we're hopefully going to be able to start on a campaign this fall to raise some dollars to build our athletic training center and our soccer fields in the very near future.
Oh, that's great.
That's outstanding. Yeah, and because soccer is obviously becoming a very popular sport, and I mean it is obviously king.
Well, yeah, it was really good for us. We started, after that first year we started our volleyball program, and they play out at our North Las Vegas campus, and they've done a wonderful job. And then we started soccer this last year, played in our first season, and our men's soccer team went to the national tournament in their very first year.
Wow.
And so with all local kids, it was a wonderful accomplishment by that group of guys.
And you're talking about a school that has about a 45,000 enrollment, approximately?
Yeah, I think it's down about 38, somewhere around there. It's hard to get the exact numbers these days, but there's a lot of kids at 3 different campuses.
Right.
And but we want most of our student athletes to come from the Valley. We have approximately 135, 140 students, and about 115 of them are first-generation college kids.
Oh, wow.
And so we're providing opportunities for young people. What UNLV does is important. What Nevada State does is important. All these the other institutions are obviously very, very important, but we have a unique role in that we're providing both educational and athletic opportunities for a lot of young people that may not otherwise seek out higher education. And so we're very proud of that. And like I said, to have our soccer team, which was probably 80% first-generation college kids, 30 local kids playing without scholarships, and to go to the national tournament. They win their region, district. They went through quite a process, and to get to the national tournament in Tyler, Texas, I was very, very proud of what Coach Hawkins and his staff was able to do.
Oh, that's great. And I'm looking at your record right now, 40, 45, and 16. That's pretty 60% of the games.
Yeah.
For our baseball guys, yeah.
Yeah.
The Coyotes have had a great year. I know Nick is very proud of what those again, we got about 75% of those kids are local kids. Bishop Gorman, Green Valley, Liberty, all sorts of high schools in the Valley, and they've come through some adversity. They tend to lose the first game of these double elimination tournaments and make the AD even more bald than he is, and then they come back and win the darn things, And
so great.
I've been very, very proud of what Nick Garitano and his staff has been able to do. And so it's an amazing accomplishment when you look at what they've been able to do over the course of the year.
So Bill and I are both from bigger cities. I'm from Detroit, where junior colleges are 5 blocks away. So I mean, what is it like to be the only junior college in town?
Well, there's some distinct advantages to that. Obviously, we we tell our guys there's 50 plus high schools in this valley. We don't need to go outside to recruit quality young people, and so I think what we've tried to do is change some of the attitudes about junior college being maybe the last choice for a lot of young kids to being the first opportunity for a lot of young kids.
Right.
And I think athletically and educationally, we've been able to help that scenario of CSM being a first choice for a lot of young people. So it's a great challenge because some of the kids don't look at they don't look at higher education sometimes in Nevada as a great opportunity for them, because quite frankly there are some other job opportunities around that maybe higher education doesn't help their pay scale, if that makes sense.
Right.
But what we've been able to do is, I think, demonstrate how effective college athletics and college sports can be into getting young people into a career track that will help them both, while they're at home, and then eventually, if they ever leave the Valley, they have some options.
That's great. So you were talking about a lot of these kids being the first time college, people in college. So they can still live in town, help their parents out in a sense, maybe work on the side and actually, play some baseball or, do some college on the side.
Absolutely. And that's significant, because a lot of families still need their young people to help. We live in a time that, to have a single provider in one family is just not the common American kind of deal anymore. And so a lot of these young people have to be more involved in working and helping and caring for other family members. And so for them to be able to go to school, take a full load, and to be successful, our men's soccer team's grade point average was right out of 3.0 this semester.
Great.
Baseball, the fifth time in the last 5 semesters, they've been over a 3.0.
Wow.
So they're good students. They're going to class. They're taking care of their business, and then they're helping their families when they can, and when they have to provide at the same time. So they're busy little bees, as we like to put it. Yeah.
That's so great. So we just had in studio some of the Las Vegas Storm, which is the minor league club team here. I'm looking at the
Right.
NJCAA website, and they actually have hockey teams in there. Is that something you guys have discussed? Having the hockey?
I'm sorry. They have what now? Hockey?
Right.
This was the last year for junior college hockey.
Oh no!
Wow, really?
Yeah. We were at the national meetings a couple of weeks ago. I actually held them in Reno, and that was the top. This was the last year for junior college hockey. So, for whatever reason, and I honestly don't know the reason why they've struggled, but men's volleyball and hockey seem to be, because we obviously have men's volleyball here in the state. We think that'd be a wonderful complement to what we're doing with our women's volleyball. A lot of young men ask about it, but there's no junior college men's hockey now and no volleyball.
Oh, wow.
That is, that's too bad. But I can kind of see it, because hockey is not a inexpensive sport. In fact, we are friends with the UNLV men's hockey team, the staff there, and they have to do a lot of fundraising in order for them to hit the ice.
That's just kind of the nature of what we do now in sports, I think. Regardless whether you're at UNLV or you're here, and it's obviously it's at different levels and different dollar amounts, but we're all subject to trying to provide some funding from the private sector to help us be successful. So I think we hope to have basketball sometime in our future at CSN, and it's going to take some private funding to help us be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, how difficult do you find through sponsorships? I mean, go on the website, and we see some prominent local names.
Well, I have a great guy that helps me with that, Terry Cottle. Terry was at UNLV for many, many years, associate AD over there, and one of the reasons I was able to hire Terry I wanted to hire him, is because he knows a lot of people in town, and he understands. And it's different levels of giving at our level than, of course, it is at UNLV. I mean, we don't have $250,000 or $300,000 sponsors. We have $5,000 and $10,000 and $15,000 and $20,000 sponsors, and so it's a different model.
Right.
But those people that give to us tend to be more closely invested, I think, in our local communities.
Absolutely.
And you see their names up there, and they have a significant impact, because the dollars are important to everybody. Don't misunderstand me, but at our level, those dollars go really right to the home, to the kids, and so they become very, very significant in what we're able to do.
Great. So moving forward, this tournament's getting ready to start. I mean, what's the next step for these guys that are going to this baseball tournament?
Well, they're going to it's the National Junior College World Series. It's in Grand Junction, Colorado. They've been there. It's been there for I don't know. It's been 60 years now. This is the 60th anniversary.
Wow.
And
Jeez.
TSN went in 2003 and won it. Not long after they started the program, Tim Chambers was the coach there. Then they went in 2010 when Bryce Harper was here.
Oh yeah.
And now in 2017. So every 7 years we're on schedule.
We're hoping it's not that long.
We don't want to wait another 7, but it's a 10-team tournament. The teams from all over the country. We actually the team that we're going to play just got named today, and the name escapes me, but the northeastern team wasn't Indian Hills; it was somebody else. But anyway, so it's a great tournament. There'll be 8,000 to 10,000 people at our game on Saturday at 11 o'clock local time. People at Grand Junction just turn out for this thing, and our guys have really taken the tough path to get there. But man, they won our conference and then lose the first game of the regional tournament badly, and come back and win win the IF game and beat Salt Lake Community College. And then this last weekend we were down in Yuma, Arizona, and we lose to Central Arizona badly the first game, and come back and beat Trinidad, Colorado 1-0 in the bottom of the ninth on a pass ball.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's great.
Then we beat the host school 6-4, which is never an easy task, and then have to play Central again and actually reverse the field on them. We beat them 15-5 the first game,
Right.
and then turn around and beat them 8-5 in the championship. So it's been a lot of baseball. We got some tired arms, but wow, they've done an unbelievable job, and it's just we had 5 kids drafted last year. We got several of our kids, 2 or 3 that have already signed at UNLV,
Awesome.
different schools, and some coaches kind of have a hesitation about JC kids, but you get a good JC kid, and I believe I've been at 4-year schools. I've coached at 4-year. I've coached junior college kids, and you get good JC kids, and you get a bargain.
That's right.
You just get a bargain because they're skilled, they're well crafted, they have their feet on the ground educationally, and they're ready to go. You don't have to usually babysit them and plot them into them. And a lot of coaches say, well, I want to get those kids as freshmen and teach them to do it my way. Well, a lot of those guys are still looking to figure out what their way is.
That's right.
These kids know how to win, especially the kids coming out of our programs. They know how to win. They know how to go to school, and they know how to act. And I think that's critical in today's society.
Well, I think that Marvin Manzi, he's kind of the way he recruited this year. Obviously, a lot out of JC. He got the number 1 JC player. I think that's kind of shaking it up a little bit. These guys can play. These guys can ball. They've already proven themselves. They can go to school. They can get their grades. They can do what they're supposed to do. I'm looking forward to what you guys are doing.
I was at Dixie those years, and we had Marcus Banks. Everybody knows who Marcus is, and he had a great JC career for us at Dixie. And then he comes to UNLV, he gets drafted, and he does well at Phoenix and Boston, and so you get guys like that exist in town that are already here that are just incredibly great people, and this gives them an opportunity to both get their foot in the door and get comfortable with what's happening in higher ed. And it's not an easy road.
So he's one of the big 3 guys, right? Going into the new Ice Cube League? I think he is.
I think so, yeah.
I think I just heard that.
Yeah.
So the Coyote Sports Network, is that going to be playing the games? Baseball games?
They'll be on NJCAA TV over the Coyote Sports Network, and actually the championship games will be broadcast over MLB TV.
Oh, nice! Wow.
And so if we can make to the championships, we'll make some national TV exposure there for the Coyotes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But otherwise, you can go to our site, and it'll take you to the link that you're able to get both live stats and the live streaming of the games.
So the site is csncoyotes.com.
Correct. Yep. Appreciate that.
Is that all your social media, or?
I'm sorry.
Is that all your social media?
You have to ask somebody that's younger than me,
Oh,
but
come on.
we do have a Facebook page.
See, I got
and
you.
we
I
have
got
a Twitter.
You.
We got the Twitter thing going on, and I know how to get to them and to do those things occasionally, but I don't know the access points. I'm going to get in trouble by my sports information guys. 'Cause
Yeah, you
I
are.
didn't know all those.
I'm gonna actually send them an email after this show. But I will tell you
Thanks
this.
a lot.
I know for sure that Twitter and Instagram are both CSN Coyotes, and because I did look those up. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. Bill and I have always been about the prep guys, giving them an opportunity, and I appreciate you as the AD or director of athletics to stepping up and doing what you're doing, man. It's just great work.
Well, thank you very much. And like you guys know, it takes a lot of people. We're all in this together, and we do it because we love it. We do it because we're into young people being successful and providing that opportunity. And we're very, very unique in this market for that because, like I said, it's a really cool thing that we're able to do. We have a great staff that's involved, and it's nice to feel appreciated from people like you guys that know and understand where we're coming from and really what our objectives are.
Well,
So
Dexter,
thank you guys.
Thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to join us, and we hope that you're on again soon.
Anytime, fellas. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you.
Thanks, Dexter.
Thank you. We'd like to thank Dexter Irvin, athletic director at CSN. Like to also thank our in-house studio guests, Zach McClanahan and Gabe Gauthier of Storm Hockey. And join us next Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, for another installment of Southern Nevada Sports News, WorldwideDigitalTVCorp.com. Have a great week.
God bless.